Phil Thatch here, and today is February the 21st, and here in Chattanooga we've been having just a huge amount of rain, but the rain stopped just for a little while this morning. It's supposed to come back later on today. My daughter's school was on a 2-hour delay because of flooding conditions in the area, so I got to my bird photography locations late this morning. And I stopped at Curtain Pole Road, and I took the just the D500 and the 200 to 500 and walked down the path just to kind of scout and see if there was anything happening. And I saw all sorts of really cool stuff. I saw a couple of towhees, and I saw some cedar waxwing, and I even saw the Holy Grail, the pileated woodpecker, however in the world you pronounce that. I saw one of those, which sometimes you can see them and hear them, but it's really tough to get a photograph, and that was still kind of the case today. But I did get a few photographs, and I think I'll share those with you now. But I'm gonna, even though things are kind of popping here a little bit, I'm gonna go someplace else and see if I can find some more stuff to photograph at a different location. So take a look at these pictures, and I'll talk to you again soon. So before I even left the parking lot, I found a female eastern towhee and a male eastern towhee, both beautiful. You don't see those every day, or at least I don't. And then when I got over to the actual pond itself, I kept hearing a pileated woodpecker calling, but I didn't see it. And finally I did see it, and then moments later it flew across, and I managed to get a in-flight picture of it. I'm making this video with my phone because I'm afraid that what I'm trying to show you will leave if I go to the car and get my vlogging camera. I just came out here to scout at Curtain Pole Road and see if there was anything here, and right in the top of that tree probably can't see it in this cell phone video even though I'm on the 2x magnifier, is a pileated woodpecker. See all this debris on the walking path that continues to fall? All that was dropped here by the pileated woodpecker. Which is up there somewhere. So there it is, the holy grail of bird photography, the pileated woodpecker. This one is a male, and that's the one that flew across from the far side of the pond to the near side of the pond, and I was really honored to be able to get a picture of it. I've been doing bird photography now for about 8 years, and this is only the second time I've gotten this close to a pileated woodpecker, so that was really great. And there it is, checking out a hole that could be a nesting cavity. So that might be something to follow up on the rest of the spring. Here's an American coot. I love these birds and their red eyes, even though they are way, way more common than the Holy Grail pileated woodpecker. And then I got the Z6 out in the parking lot as I was leaving and got a picture of this robin and these mourning doves. I found this waxwing at Curtain Pole Road, and I took several pictures of it, and a lot of them came out okay, so I just edited one and copied the settings to the rest of them, and I think there ended up being 57 pictures. None of these have been cropped at all, so that's why the bird's kind of moving all over the place, as you know, I was doing handheld with that big lens. But I thought I would show you all of these. These are ISO 1000 and 1/500th of a second at 500 millimeters. So there's a little bit of, I think they're all in focus, but there's some motion blur in some of them. But I just love the beautiful cedar waxwing. What an amazingly attractive bird. And here it is eating these berries. And I took pictures of a cedar waxwing at this same location a couple of years ago when a college professor inquired if he could use it in a class, and he was wanting to talk about native birds eating the fruit of invasive species. And I believe, I really don't know what this is. It might be privet hedge, I'm not even sure. But here it is again, same location, eating the same invasive species. But I just love the color of a cedar waxwing, and I think they may be the most photogenic of all birds. You know, you rarely see them looking bad in a picture. That one's got motion blur. I sure wish it didn't. But if you ever get the chance to take a picture of a cedar waxwing, you'll be glad you did, because it's probably going to look good. And that is all of those. All right, I'm here on the side of Suck Creek Mountain Road, and I'm going to try to get some pictures of this waterfall that should be flowing really good because of all the rain we've had. So I came here on January the 1st, Heather and I did, and I didn't go up very far because I was leaving Heather, you know, kind of by herself at the bottom of the hill. But today I'm by myself, so I'm going to really scale that thing and see if I can find some more places to photograph. Okay, so that spot right there is basically the furthest I went up on January the 1st. You can still see my car down there on the side of the highway. But I did a scouting hike a minute ago, and this thing goes way further up, and there's waterfalls all the way. Here's another spot. I thought about making a photograph here, but there's just so much brush lying around that I didn't like it. So during my scouting, I looked further up and found some spots that I liked better. I'm a pretty good bit further up the side of the mountain now, and there's one of those trees that I see all the time that keeps these light tan leaves all winter. I see these on Hunter Road, on the side of the road up the hill in the woods, and I think they're just beautiful. I've always thought it might be neat to get a picture of one, but I never have found one that kind of has a great composition. And my old out of shape butt is winded from climbing up this mountain. You can still see the road down there, but you can no longer see my car at the pull-off. And my destination is still probably 30 or 40 or 50 yards up the mountain. So onward and forward. Okay, I think you can probably still see that tree that I was by a minute ago, and now I'm much closer to where I want to be. It's kind of nerve-wracking. That is a huge boulder, and it's been undermined. If that sucker falls, I'm gone. But it's beautiful right here. I don't know if I can find an acceptable composition like my photography heroes always say on their YouTube channels, but I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, I have settled on a vertical composition, and I've got my tripod leveled up. I've got it at ISO 100, f11, 2.5 seconds. I've got a 3-stop neutral density filter on there. Got my remote shutter release. So let's get the shot. All right, there we go. I think that one's going to be pretty cool. I love the little small trickle of water to the left-hand side of that giant falls up there. You can see a lot of falls in this picture. There's a little bit of at the very top of the frame. There's some bright light that I don't like that much, but if I brought more foreground in down here, it was kind of unattractive. So that's what I went with, and hopefully that one will be pretty good. Now I'll see if I can find another composition. I forgot to show you on that picture that I'm using the 24-70 f2.8G, the FTZ converter, and the Nikon Z6, and of course there's the 3-stop neutral density filter. So this was definitely my favorite photograph of the day. There were some twigs that I would like to have removed, but I don't have the cloning skills for that removal. But other than that, I'm really, really happy with this photograph. I like everything about it. I ended up cropping it 5x7 just to get that area at the top of the frame that I discussed before eliminated. But there's the full picture. Okay, I got my tripod in the water now. Another vertical shot, concentrating on this falls that's under this giant boulder. That's unnerving. Anyway, the top part of the falls is kind of dark and the bottom part is light, so I made 3 different exposures that I may blend later on. I don't feel real great about this one, but I thought I'd try it while I was here. This is the first time I've ever done a high dynamic range photograph where I set the different exposures myself. Usually I'll do an auto exposure bracket, but I just did 3 different exposures trying to get the exposure right for the top, the middle, and the bottom of this waterfall, and it came out okay. I didn't think it was going to be that great while I was making the picture because I like the other one so much, but it was okay. Okay, so that's the general area of where I took the last 2 shots, kind of shooting either that way or that way. And I found another spot way up there that looks pretty good, and I already took my camera up there to kind of check it out. And I decided I would document it for you, so I came back down and got the rest of my gear. And here's the trail. This sucker, you got to kind of scotch your foot on stuff. This sucker is steep, steep, steep. But it's climbable even for an old fat fart like me. I kind of like that area right there too, but that's not what I chose to shoot. What I chose to shoot is way on up here. I love these rocks with the moss all over them. All right, so here's what I chose to shoot right here. 24 millimeters. Still got the neutral density filter on, 1.6 seconds f11. Of course, all these are ISO 100. I was really happy with the way this one turned out, this up close photograph of this waterfall. I like the way the water looks on the rocks. Just really pleased with this one. Sometimes the simplest pictures are the best. Way down there is the big falls that I shot first. I can't see the road at all. If you look really close, you might be able to see a little bit of those light tan leaves on that tree that I showed you. Now look at that mess up through there. Let's see what I can get out of that. I used a 4-second exposure on this one, and the Z6 is just leaning up against this tree. Tripod's not extended, but as you can see, it is level. I used 4 seconds f11 ISO 100 and still using the 3-stop neutral density filter. I wasn't all that thrilled with this one. I mean, it's okay, but it's certainly not the best one by far. All right, well, here I am on the side of Suck Creek Mountain. I've been all up and down that hill, taking lots and lots of landscape type waterfall, long exposure, silky waterfall pictures, and I think I'm going to be more pleased with these pictures than the last time that I was here. So hopefully that's the case. And I even got my drone out and flew around a little bit. So maybe I'll get to show you some footage like that. I didn't do much Adam Gibbs fly right in the middle of the woods. I did some of that at the bottom of the hill, but I didn't want to climb. I mean, you have to be right there beside the drone. I didn't want to climb up that hill again. It almost killed me the first time. So it didn't almost kill me, but it was tiresome for the old fat fart. But it was fun, and looks like the rain is just now starting to come back. It's been scheduled to come back all day, so this may be the end. I'm going to go back towards Chattanooga proper and see if I can see some more birds, but most likely this is the end. If not, there's probably some birds coming. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. All of the waterfall pictures were done with the Nikon Z6, And I had the entire Holy Trinity. I had the 14 to 24, I had the 70 to 200, but I did the whole thing with the 24 to 70 f2.8G. And anyway, thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.